There we go. All right. Can you guys hear me? What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. Hopefully you guys can hear me because I can't hear the music for some reason. But you guys can hear me? Okay. Somebody let me know. Zane, tomorrow's your birthday? You never guess what tomorrow is as well. Tomorrow is also my birthday. July 28th. So happy birthday, Zane. All right. This is weird. I can't hear the music, which is bothering the heck out of me. Yeah, July 28th. That's me too. Happy birthday. All right. Let's draw some stuff. Or let's make some stuff. So what I'm going to be doing today is doing a Batman sketch this week. I think I haven't written it yet, but I got a good premise for it. So I figured I would at least start setting stuff up today to get moving on that. All right. Well, thank you. Happy birthday to you too. All right. So I'm gonna start setting up some stuff here for this week's dorkly bit. 640, 360. There we go. Okay. You know what? Give me 1 second. You guys can hear the music, right? That's playing in the background. I cannot, and that's driving me bonkers. So I'm going to play some music for myself in the background. This will work. Cool. Hey, Mike, I just want to apologize for any misunderstanding. 2 days ago, I was just quoting the original Angry Video Game Nerds intro song. That might have been with Justin a couple days ago, but I'm sure everything's fine. But I appreciate the consideration. All right. Enough with the blank screen here. So I'm going to grab, this one's going to be Batman. So first thing I'm doing is just getting a bunch of assets. We have a bunch of existing Batman assets. So I'm going to grab everything that I can here. Let's replace. There we go. So these are all Batman pieces, Batman rigs and stuff that we have grabbed in the past. A whole bunch of stuff. Why is there some missing pieces here? That's weird. I don't know what that one was, but I'll get rid of that. I'm sure that'll be annoying later. I don't know what that one is. What's my favorite Steam game? I don't really know, man. I don't get a chance to play a lot of stuff anymore. A lot of times what I'll do is just like watch walkthroughs or playthroughs, and like of other stuff. So I don't really get to play. Like the last kind of Steam game that I was playing for any mini extended period of time was Stardew Valley, just because it was like I just wanted to kind of relax a little bit. But I end up getting stressed out because I'm like, I gotta fucking remember to water stuff and like catch a bus or whatever and try to find these people. I was just like, why am I stressed out about this game? So I stopped playing it. But so I don't really have a favorite. I think it's just those are the ones that I Destiny 2. Okay, yeah. I've never played Destiny 2, but I know of it. It looked cool. All right. I'm just finding some Batman existing stuff here. So I'm going through our full true identity 275. All right. So right now I'm just on our server. I got to go through and find, what was it? 275? Yeah, cool. All right. Oh, really? Hang on. Hang on. Tomorrow you getting Cuphead? I've never played Cuphead either. All right. This is an older file opening up in a newer version of. You know, why don't I just do this? Hang on. I'm going to stop sharing for a second. Give me 1 second. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. And I'm going to start over in an older version of Flash because this is giving me all kinds of problems. So give me 1 second. All right. Hey, Dorothy, what inspired you to do Sonic for Hire? I did, let's see, Machinima asked us, they came to us and asked if we had any ideas for original series. And Sonic for Hire was like the first one that I pitched. It was just an idea that I had like at the time. You know, Sonic wasn't really that popular like he is now. Like the movies weren't out and stuff. You know, this was like a while ago. Current Adobe Flash is in the backrooms. All right, here we go. So I just had an idea of like, I loved playing Sonic as a kid, and with Sonic being like at the time down on his luck, or you know, just not as popular of a thing as like any other, or like Mario or any other game like that. So I was just like, what if he is just looking for work? And so the pitch was like a paragraph long. I'd emailed it to Machinima. I was just like, what if you know, what if he's out of work and he's jumping in from game to game and just screwing everything up? And they loved it. And so from there, it was just like, it was different at first because it was like Tails was his landlord, and but the game, like jumping into game to game, was the premise. But Tails had a different role in it at first. He was really much more of an asshole, almost like a bigger asshole than Sonic, or an asshole to Sonic, I guess. But then that changed around, and we made Tails like his, you know, the annoying sidekick that he is now in the show. Sonic's one of my favorite characters. Finished Sonic Frontiers on my Switch. I never played Sonic Frontiers. There's so many Sonic games I haven't played that I feel like I'm just like missing out on. All right. So the premise of this one, I'm just grabbing, we have this older sketch here that was animated a long time ago where Alfred's like the secret villain. And so we've got all these villains here. And the premise of this sketch, hey, Jesse, thanks so much, man. Should we revive Morty Combat or Clocksuckers? We are reviving Morty. We are bringing that back. We had started writing. The original idea was to do it after this season of Sonic for Hire. Then a bunch of stuff happened. We this was before we took over Dorkly, so the idea was to work on Sonic and then work on Morty. So we started writing. We started writing season 2 of Morty. We actually already had like 3 or 4 episodes written for Machinima before like all that stuff fell apart. So we had some stuff for season 2 for Morty, and then like everything got canceled on Machinima. So then when we took over, when we started making our own stuff on Lowbrow and opened up our Patreon, we started writing season 2 for Morty, like a new season. So we have like the premise of the whole season. I think 3 or 4 outlines up written for episodes, not like full episodes or anything written yet. And it was just a delay of like taking over Dorkly just ate up all our time. So let's see. So everything got kind of just pushed back, really. Long way of saying it. All right, so all I'm doing right now, I'm just grabbing some of these dudes and I will put them together nice and neat. in a little bit, but I just want to start gathering up some sprites from other files that we're working on. What's up, Leah? So the premise of this one, not to spoil it too much or anything like that, but I think you'll be fine, is Batman. It's what if Batman acted like a real life billionaire, like a modern day billionaire. So the basic premise is that Batman has captured all these dudes and he starts to reveal his real plan for taking over or for like running Gotham. And it's terrifying the supervillains. They're like, oh my God, you're a worse villain than we are. All just a subtle way of me saying that I don't like billionaires. All right, let me find. Yeah, Morty's coming back. How will he come back? Let's see. How will he come back? Someone bringing Morty back to the MK world, kind of dragging his dead body here and there as he revives. So I know we brought him into that last into Sonic. In typical like our way of storytelling or whatever, it's just going to be like he's just back there. Yeah, hey Sonic Channel. Yeah, I'm the voice of Tails. So I forget, we haven't really written, we'll probably write a legit explanation for it, but like he died on Earth and then they'll probably just bring his body back and he'll just be like back. We like to problem solve that by not problem solve it, and just do like a very quick bad explanation of it. Cause it's just sort of like, you just want the character to come back for us. And these episodes are short and you just want to kind of get them in and out. So I'm just trying to find a file real quick. What was I doing? Oh, Dr. Freeze or Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze. Freeze. Here we go. DK479. I got this whole database. So we have like over 600 plus Dorkly bits. And so I have like a living Google Doc that just we've categorized everything and whatever. So it's like searchable. So I can find which one I'm looking for quickly. Are you a fan of DC Comics lore or Sonic lore? They're very good. I'm not a huge comic book reader. Not like I have anything against comic books themselves, but when growing up, I just wasn't into reading them. I like the artwork a lot, but I wasn't like a huge comic reader. But I have heard all those comics and stuff are really good. And like just from our podcast and talking to Sal so much, Sal from Comic Pop, who like lives and breathes comics, learning so much about how crazy and like creative some of these stories are, it kind of makes me want to get into comics a bit more. I keep meaning to like, he's told me before too, I think I need to just ask again, like what are some like, what's like a good starter pack for getting into comics? Unmasked. All right, I'm still grabbing some files here, guys. And then I'll start noodling around with Team Graphics. Oh, thanks. Thanks, Sonic Channel. I think we started created the best one. Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, let me do this. There we go. There we go. Put some comments on there. What's up, Nick? If you don't play video games or read comics, what nerdy things do you do? I know. So I would play video games if I had enough free time, for sure. And I love all things like nerdy. I mean, even like cartoons. I don't really even watch cartoons all that much anymore, or even all that much TV. I feel like I just watch the same like background YouTube stuff just while I'm working. But I mean, nerdy stuff that I used to do all the time, like, growing up, it was action figures, toys, Transformers, G.I. Joe, stuff like that. And then just like drawing and writing and like character design, that kind of stuff. I used to have like this whole mini little workbook of like G.I. Joe characters that me and my brother would just create. I just liked making up the names and stuff and like Let me just delete all this shit. Now that I got, let's see. All right. Let me get organized here. This is a mess. This is a mess. So I just like, any of that kind of like anything creative. I just like any of that shit, That's like my favorite thing. And I don't know if that's necessarily nerdy about it. You can nerd out about anything, but all right, I think freeze is good. Let's see. I did just see Fantastic Four today. Speaking of not having any time for anything. But I did go see that today, which I thought it was fine. It was good. I wasn't crazy about it, but filling out W8BENE forms. What are those? I don't know what those are. Oh, favorite tax. Oh, tax form. I missed your earlier comment. Oh yeah, I mean, my favorite tax form. I don't know if it's a tax form. Oh, I guess it is. W9s are pretty sweet in the U.S. Pretty standard one. I always have a couple of those on file because companies will ask for that shit all the time. Those are fun. Right? Tax talk, guys. Let's do it. Tax stream on a Sunday. All right. I got all that shit. Is this all him? I'm just trying to get all these things organized a little bit. It's a little bit more haphazard than what I normally do. But, all right, cool. Most of these are layered. What I'm trying to do right now is get all these guys at their standard like pixel size here. It makes it easier later on. Sup, Strasburg? Do I have any consoles? I have like my old NES. This thing's been like the main thing I've been playing for a while. Just a little like mini emulator thing. Just these dudes. We did like a little review thing of it a few months ago. So this company like sent me one to check out. And that thing is like pretty sweet because I can just bring it with me and like I can just play for like 10, 15 minutes or whatever. Get a little fix of like some retro games. It's just like a little emulator, So that's pretty sweet. Oh, my bad. Hang on one sec. I'll show you again. It's just a little like, what's it? Miu? There's a ton of them. It's like the little emulators. There's all kinds, but this one's kind of looks like a DS. PS4 that screams at you. What games? This one's just got like, it came just preloaded with a bunch of just like all kinds of shit. All like the Nintendo, Sega, some like a couple Dreamcast ones, but a couple PlayStation ones too. But if you play those, like, yeah, it's like a GBA. Yeah, exactly. If you play like anything above Sega, it just like the battery gets killed pretty quickly, which is understandable. Yeah, it's cool, man. I love the thing. It's like perfect for me. Infinite Sky. How long have you been doing this? Making cartoons and stuff for a long time, man. Like 25 years probably. I started doing this stuff in college, like teaching myself how to animate. And let me just see. All right, sweet. Taught myself how to animate and taught myself how to use Flash and stuff. And I was always interested in writing funny stories, or what I thought were funny stories anyway. Just the whole process of making cartoons. I just loved all that stuff. So I started doing it in college. When I graduated, I worked like at a graphic design firm for a little while, and I would just like come home and make cartoons until like 2 a.m. And then I got a chance to make stuff for College Humor, and then like Nickelodeon and Disney. a bunch of other places, and like my freelance work got really busy. So then I opened up a studio, and it's kind of been that ever since. It's just like I don't really have like a full set plan of how to do anything, or like a career path kind of thing. It all just started to like happen, and I was like, this is fun, so I skipped doing it. And that was kind of it. I mean, like I always wanted to make a TV show in some capacity. I feel like I've technically accomplished that sort of with Explosion Jones a few years back. It was a TV show. We made a TV show. It was on television. Nobody watched it, but still. So yeah. And now it's like the whole industry's kind of weird. Very different from what it was like even. So I'm just trying to find a decent background color that I can see what the fuck I'm doing here. So getting Dorkly was like a huge fun thing for me, and it helped out a lot with just like client work being slow across the entire industry. So I'm just kind of rambling on right now, but I've been doing it for a while. Super fun. I still love it. I get to do really dumb stuff. It's a lot of work, but I get to do really dumb, fun stuff. I went to college. What? I know I did. I had a comic strip in college. That was fun. Nature show. Industry's weird this day. Industry's totally different. Nick, you found Explosion Jones. Where the hell did you find it? That show was like super fun and the dumbest thing at the same time. Sonic Fang. Hey Dorkly, do you miss the British Bowser voice in your videos? I miss having Sam do voices. Sam Reich, guy from Dropout, because that's British Bowser. If you guys are fans of Dropout, Game Changer, any of that stuff from Dropout, that's Sam. He was the voice of British Bowser, and a bunch of other characters. Whenever we could get him to do a character, we would. But when I took over Dorkly, and before that, when I was doing stuff for our Lowbrow channel, he would still be able to like do voices for us every once in a while. But then he was like, I don't have time anymore. It's like too crazy. His schedule's too nuts. So he couldn't be British Bowser anymore. So it's a bummer, but we have Sal. Sal's British Bowser now, which kind of sometimes drifts into like Australian Bowser, but like the spirit is there, and I like it a lot. But Sam was a lot of voices for us. He was a voice for our show Clocksuckers too. He did a lot of stuff for us. Super talented dude. All right, so I got four villains here. Get rid of Batman, all this extra shit. All right, that's all Joker. Let me get Joker working here. What do we got? British Bowser RIP. Yeah, I know. Could you get a teaser for Skydiver? Oh yeah, I know. I remember that from the last stream. I haven't done any research on Rogue. Really want more Furry Force. Oh yeah, Furry Force. That was we had surprisingly, or not surprisingly, I guess we had nothing to do with that. Like Lowbrow, me, it was an animated thing, but I think that was Studio Joho who animated it, and I think it was I want to say Adam Conover wrote it. I could be wrong about that part, but if it was Studio Joho, that is Joe Brum, who created Bluey, and his studio Joho. I think I'm almost positive they animated that. Almost positive. At least I thought they did. So, I mean, you can look it up, and I'm sure find out. But yeah, we didn't have that was super fun and like so like over the top. I think what made it so much fun. What software do we use? This is Adobe. It's called Adobe Animate now, but when I first started using it a billion years ago, it was Macromedia Flash, and then when Adobe bought Macromedia, or just Flash, I guess, they changed it a few years after that to Adobe Animate. And all it is, it's just like this software's been around forever, but it's really good at pixel stuff. And we have like this, especially this custom pixel tool that we have here. I just have that one freelance one. There we go. So it's just this pixel tool, and you can just boop, 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 draw pixel by pixel. You can have it snap to pixels and stuff, so you can see the grid, and you can just draw this way straight in here. And there's a billion like pixel, software things to create pixel art and everything like that, which are all very good. I'll use Photoshop too sometimes. But what I like about Adobe Animate is like it's much quicker to just draw the stuff directly in there. Like after you got it all set up, I'm gonna have to do that here because I'm gonna have to change some of these arms and stuff and create some new legs. All these dudes are gonna be like tied up in a circle, so it's gonna be kind of easy for me to, let's see, to manipulate this stuff. Hey, what's up, Leah? I don't know what's pi u mean. I'm not sure what that means. Hi, what's going on? Let me catch up on some stuff here. Don't remind me of Furry Force, yeah. Hey, Aiden Davis, nice to meet you. And I like your videos, and I will comment on you later. But thanks for stopping by, Aiden. Glad you like our stuff, man. I appreciate it. Ugly Americans used Adobe in season 1 and 2. Yeah, that was oh shoot, what's the name of the studio? It's gonna bother me. They're like in Brooklyn. Dang it, I forgot. I think Travis worked there for a little bit too. Shit, I like their stuff. Their stuff was like, yeah, that was Flash for sure. Because I remember like we had worked with a couple artists, animators and stuff who had worked on that show as well, and they were like cleanup artists or like in-betweeners and stuff. And they used Flash for that. It was cool. I could see some of like the rough work in progress files and stuff from there. It was a super unique style for that show too. It was really cool. So I'm going to have like all these dudes. I'm just roughing out what the basic shape of the legs might be here. Let me just do this. So they're all going to kind of be like huddled on the ground and like tied up in like a, circle. But I don't have the legs for them. So I got to just see if it's going to look funny or not, like weird funny. I think that can work. That might work. Do I have any half arms? No, that's not good. This is like super limited for, I think here we go. Sweet. We have, let me go with this one for now. Give us more Star Wars. I'd love to do more. We did like, you can change your screen back to animate. It's been like nothing so far. You guys have just stared at my stupid face this whole time. I'm sorry. Thanks for the heads up. Sorry about that. I've been like drawing and shit and working. Just staring at me while I'm staring at my screen. My bad. I don't have it like, I have a second monitor over here. I gotta get that shit hooked up so I can like see more stuff. But it's like my animate screen is blocking my streaming setup. So I can see your comments, but I can't see what's actually like being streamed. So you're just seeing my dumbass face for like 15 minutes. My bad. All right, this is better now. Now you can actually see what's going on. So I got Joker here. Sorry about that. And, he's gonna be like sitting on the ground. He's gonna be tied together with like a bunch of other supervillains. So let's get Riddler set up next here. So I'm gonna do snap to pixels. The real nice thing about Adobe Animate is like, I don't like Animate, or I don't like Adobe. Their practices and stuff is dog shit. But I really love Flash. I'm just kind of used to it, and it does so many of the things that are like perfectly tailored for the type of shit that I work on. Like super fast turnarounds. Like our entire workflow is just really like centered around fast turnarounds. So it's really helpful in that way. It's easy to get a project started and finished, and there's like a ton of like dumbass quirks and stuff that Flash has. They just have to make like workarounds for. But I'm just so used to working with it that it's like really nice for the type of stuff that we do, especially pixel art stuff. Especially as we've gotten like finally better at, making it feel like actual like pixel art, where it's not just like rotated to hell, all that kind of stuff. We still do that for Sonic for Hire because it's just, that show is just that show. But nowadays, whenever we can, we'll kind of try to make it look like things are aligned. And the way we've got it set up in Flash, you can kind of do that a little bit better, a little bit easier. All right, so this looks weird right now, but that's what's going on here. They're just sitting there shooting the shit. They are going to be, so it's going to be like this. I'll just do a quick sketch of like, there's going to be just like what I'm imagining here. It might change a little bit, but Batman has caught all of the main supervillains, right? So they're going to be kind of like tied up like this, right? Kind of together. I might only have realistically room for like one more. I might have Riddler there and maybe Penguin here or something like that. So they're going to be all tied up like that. Maybe this will just be, maybe get rid of that. So they'll probably just be like this, and maybe Freeze will be in the back. I don't want to make it too crowded though, but they're going to be like tied together, sitting on the floor like that. And then Batman will be here talking the whole time. So that's basically what I'm shooting for here. But what I'm doing right now, since I don't have like the arms and legs kind of set up the way I need to, I'm just sketching out like the poses and stuff and getting them in place. And then once I'm in a good spot with that, then I'll go through and actually do some like pixel art stuff. But it's important in pixel art in Flash to get everything set up, sized up the way you want, especially with like the pixels. Because if you get into a whole thing of like the pixels are too small or too big and you're resizing shit, it looks crappy and you can't really get them to be lined up again correctly. And it kind of just throws everything off. So taking a little bit of extra time in the beginning pays off later. So it looks super weird right now, but like that's the basic idea right now. Bat Danny. Stopwatch, blue hand, timer. Leah, I don't know what you're talking about. Mike Fact, South Park used Power Animator for the 4 seasons, and then season 5 they used Maya. I don't know what Power Animator is. I've never heard of that. Can you do Plants vs. Zombies 2 video? I don't know specifically Plants vs. Zombies 2, but there was a fan gave me like all the setup sprites animated in Flash. I had done like another Plants vs. Zombies. I did like a The Last of Us parody of it, and then that one like was pretty popular, and then a fan sent me that. It was just a flash file or like a folder with all that shit in there. It was like Christmas, and but I believe they're all from like the first Plants vs Zombies. So I don't really have any specific thing to do for Plants vs Zombies 2 necessarily, but I guess I could. But I'd like to do another one. They're fun to make. The last couple ones really didn't do that well, so it's kind of tougher to spend time and make another one. Like if they don't really do well, it's kind of tough with the whole YouTube algorithm side of shit. But what are you gonna do? All right, Penguin seems kind of weird here, but I think it's because his smoke thing. I might get rid of the smoke or flip his cigar around or little cigarette, but let's go with this for now. Do Fantastic Four. That'll pay your month, pay rent for a month. Oh, by the way, Mike, Scratch was launched in 2003. Scratch? Sonic Channel. What's Scratch? I'm not sure what Scratch is. Oh yeah, I was skipping around here a bunch. With Power Animator, I didn't know what season it was for South Park, but I know that they use Maya, which is crazy for the type of animation that South Park is. I'm still amazed at how fast they're able to turn that stuff around. It's a huge team, obviously, but like crazy. Let's see here. So here's one thing I don't like about this smoke is that it's going backwards, I feel like. I'm actually just going to get rid of the smoke for now. Oops. No, I don't want that a guide. What is happening here? There we go. Shut you off. Can I get this on the other side? I think I will. I just need to grab all this stuff. I'm going to just flip his... I don't like his cigarette being over his, like... You're losing it on his body here. So I'm going to flip that around. Let's do that. And I just got to fill in some blanks. It's a little better. It's still caught up here. I might change the angle of that. Have I watched South Park? Like the new one? Yeah. Crazy. Such a, I don't know. Everything is absolutely upside down in America, in my opinion. Not to get all on a thing, but that South Park one was a welcome relief. Freeze. So Freeze is the only one here that's kind of got enough legs, but I don't really have a part for him in this. So let's see. I'm going to throw him in the back. See how he fits back there. Do I have broken up legs? I don't. What am I going to do here? Let's do something like this for now. Power Animator is clearly 3D animation. I thought the first, or maybe was it just the first season was like legit. Talking about South Park. I thought the first season was like legit cutouts and everything, or was that just a pilot? Maybe it's the pilot. That would seem fucking crazy if it was the whole season. I don't remember. That was such a long time ago. Leah, I don't know. I don't know what language you're typing in, but I don't speak that language, so I don't know what you're talking about. There's just like a regular down arm for this dude. There we go. There we go. All right, I'm gonna get rid of his legs for a second. That's kind of funny, right? Let me do something like this. That's too crowded. Maybe he's over here. No, I should be looking the other way. Something like that. All right, a bunch of supervillains huddled together. Hey, Davis, I love you too, bro. Thank you very much. Do I like 3D animation? Yes, I do. We do a lot of like, or I do a lot of. I don't know how to animate for 3D, but I direct a lot of 3D animation now, especially over the past like 5 years. Stuff for like uh, directing animation. Like, it's not necessarily you're the director of the episode. There's like several different levels of directing, but like an animation director, or like a creative supervisor kind of thing for 3D animation. So shit like uh, Coco Melon and Noggin, which was like a Nick Jr. thing for a little bit, and then I'm currently animation director and art director for a Crayola series that's on YouTube called Scribble Scrubbies. So like just doing that kind of stuff, and like before 5 years ago, I never really worked with 3D animation. But over the past 5 years, having an opportunity to like work on it more and like getting a better understanding of like how many additional steps there are in like the whole pipeline of it, is really crazy to me. And I'd really love to like learn more about 3D animation, like actually knowing how to like model it, or um, some animation stuff. Like I started to try to learn Blender, but like anything, I just like, you know, don't have the time to fully invest in that kind of thing. Or even stuff like Unreal Engine, where it just seems like such a uniquely powerful tool, um, that is just helpful, especially too with like, with Dorkly. I love doing these retro games and everything, but to have like the ability to do the same sort of stuff for like a modern game, remotely modern game, 3D, whatever, um, would be a lot of fun too. So like having that ability to do that would be cool, but like the pipeline for it, the process, it's all really involved, more expensive, takes longer to do, all that kind of stuff. Currently anyway. All that shit's changing. But yeah, I love it. It always 3D animation always looks cool, like especially now too, where it's been around for so long that people are really like pushing what can be done with it. I know it gets brought up infinitely, but Spider Verse, that sort of thing, where you're just like, or even like the Mutant, or what was it, Mutant Mayhem, right? Ninja Turtles one. Um, that one was crazy. I really like that one too. So like, it's really blurring the line of like what is 3D animation anymore. Why is this lagging so bad? Jesus. Ugh. Um, but yeah, it's it's an awesome medium. That looks just terrible. What am I doing? What am I doing? All right. So am I Harold? Yes. And I'm gonna eat your planet. Boom. I just had. It's funny because I was saying before, I just came from the movies earlier today and watched Fantastic Four. And that part, I'm like, I feel like I've seen that part a billion times at this point. She's like, I herald his beginning, all that stuff. The delivery was awesome. In the movie itself, it's like so much faster. She kind of like, it almost feels like she like rushes through it, because in the trailer and everything, they really make her take her sweet time. The last one is dramatic, but there's like there's a dramatic beat, where she's like, I herald Galactus. But before that, she's like, I herald his beginning, I herald your end, I herald Galactus. I love cool, like sounding lines like that. It's just so fucking, I don't know. That's why I like all different kinds of movies and shit. Where it's a comic book movie, but like you can still get a super cool dramatic line like that. Not that comic book movies are all campy and everything, but you know what I mean. All right, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take. I'm struggling here with this first drawing, but I'm gonna take Joker's shoes. Ugh, what am I doing? There we go. All right, so let me get aligned here. So what I'm doing right now, I just stole Joker's shoes from another frame, so I don't have to redraw it. But I got to just make sure that it's all in proportion. So I'm like getting it aligned to the grid. Oops. Getting rid of any of these like half pixels because that's going to screw something up later. So now I got that nice and aligned. So now I can go through and just scoot this dude over. He's not really aligned here, is he? Oh, yeah, he is. All right. Cool. So now that at least works for that leg and that foot. Cool. The rigged Mario and Luigi sprites are from Mario Fan Games Galaxy. Are you using them with permission? The Mario ones are from, we've had those forever, but those were originally from, those were custom from, shoot, I'm going to forget his name. It was a sprite artist who made those. They weren't pulled directly from there. Sprite stuff in general, like permission from games and stuff, it all kind of falls under this like gray parody law. You know, that's how we're able to kind of get away with making Dorkly videos. It's parody. There's always this sort of gray area, but like the sprites themselves were designed originally by an artist, David Clark. Sorry, it's been a while since I've like had to remember and like write out his name and stuff in credits. We haven't used it in a little bit. But you know, for any of these games, it's you know, you don't really have permission to use these graphics, but it falls under parody stuff. The only time we've really gotten, it wasn't even us personally, it was College Humor. A video got asked to be pulled down from Nintendo. I think a long time ago we had done a video. We didn't write it, but I definitely animated it. Where like Mario and Peach are having sex, and this is like early internet days. It was more graphic and longer than it needed to be. It felt like an SNL parody kind of thing where it's just way too long. And I didn't even know that College Humor got asked to take it down until kind of recently. I guess there was like a letter sent and all this kind of stuff. But that's kind of the only time that I've seen some sort of like legal thing. And you know, it's not a hill College Humor wants to die on whatsoever. So they're like, yeah, we'll just take it down. But a lot of times, I know with like Machinima, when we did stuff for Machinima, like Sonic for Hire, they had like a good working relationship with Sega. And from what I was told at one point, like Sega was cool with it. They didn't mind at all. And again, it was all parody stuff, so like it was okay. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of this temporary sketch there. His butt looks a little bit weird. This is what's difficult about pixel art, for me anyway. You have so few angles and corners that you can take that if like one thing is a little bit weird, it all feels a little bit weird. So that at least looks a little bit better. All right, I got to get him all lined up too. His legs are all off kilter. Hey Davis. Is that Batman 4 bosses? I like it. Live at your project. I will tell you later. Thanks. This is going to be for this week's Dorkly bit. I was saying before, it is yet to be actually written. So I'm going to write this thing tonight, but I have the premise worked out in my head. So I'll write it tonight. We'll record the dialogue for it early tomorrow. And then it's nice that I'm getting a jump on getting this stuff set up like this with you guys, because by tomorrow night, like, animation will need to start. That's how quickly we turn around these things. So this will air on Friday. And so, like, I need to get everything kind of plotted out and figured out by tonight and tomorrow. Air on, ideally it'll go up on Patreon on Thursday. So I'm just trying to get all these dudes lined up here. This all pays off later. Does he not have an arm there? All right, cool. This all pays off later when I'm animating and I don't need to, like, realign everything. There we go. So I put his arm above his legs like that. And now it kind of looks like he'll be sitting down. So I'll color it in. There we go. Nick, you son of a bitch. Robin, hand me that battery. What the hell's a Terry? Very good. Very good. Bravo. Bravo. Let's see right there. Yeah, I liked Fantastic Four. It was fine. Like, I thought it was fine. The action scenes, awesome. It looked really cool. I thought the characters they did a really good job of, like, their family. There was a little parts where they're, like, fighting a bit. I know they're, in some of their story or iterations and stuff like that, they're a bit more, like, at odds sometimes, that kind of thing. There was, like, a little bit of that in the movie. But I thought it was cool. I went in with zero expectations, really. So it was sorry, I'm catching up on thought about making another Zelda. Was like Fallout. I love that. Wish there was more. Yeah, if Zelda was like Fallout. That was, let's see, that was the old team that done it. I don't know who wrote that one. I like that one a lot. I would need to, like, play a lot more Fallout. And Fallout's one of those games I really like it. I only played it like a couple times, and it wasn't even like my like, I never owned it, It was just I was, like, playing on somebody else's console. But that's one of those where I've watched all the playthroughs and stuff, and I like the Amazon Prime show, that kind of thing. So, like, what I'm basically getting at is, like, I don't know if I'm gonna do this whole checker pattern. That seems like a lot. What I'm getting at is I need to kind of know a little bit more about it before doing, like, a sketch about it, so that I don't look like an idiot. But that'd be fun. I was gonna probably do. I think somebody in our comments was suggesting a few times, like, the next, like, if video games are realistic, putting Fallout in there, and that's a prime candidate for that premise. There's a ton of funny stuff that you can do. Man, what am I doing here? I'm trash right now. This is trash. All right, let me clean this up. It's a little better. Ugh. That's a little better. Get your shit together, Mike. It's just barely in his mouth. Might fall in Riddler's crotch. Talking about the cigarette from a while back. Sorry, I'm like behind, I think. Sonic channel. You use Blender? What kind of, do you animate Sonic stuff? What kind of stuff do you make? So I'm not going to do this whole checker pattern on his pants. There's so much stuff happening in like a tight amount of space here that I feel like the checkers, one, it's going to take me fucking forever to color it in. But two, I feel like it's just going to be a little bit too busy. We're not really going to be even sure what's happening. So let's see. Right, that's just like a little clean. I'll probably add a little bit more to that. It feels a little bit plain, especially like on the legs here. But I don't think I'm going to give this thing a bunch of detail. I should talk to New Frame Plus sometime. He's a working 3D animator. I'll check that out. Let me write that down. Let me write that down in my handy notebook. New Frame Plus. Cool. When will the new Sonic 5 be watchable for everybody? I don't know, honestly. I wish I had a better answer. I need to get like ahead of some sort of ahead of schedule on Dorkly stuff, so that I can spend some time prepping the current. I was doing that on a couple streams where I was like prepping some stuff where he's like a werewolf and playing basketball and shit. So that episode is like in good shape to kind of run through animation, but my weeks have been crazy with like, it's good with client work and stuff. But with Dorkly, I have less time, because like normally it's Alex doing all of them every week, all that kind of stuff, this kind of stuff. But me and Alex do every other now. So that's like, every other week for me where I would probably be spending time on Sonic. It's harder for me to do. So it's just going to take a little bit longer to get all this stuff together. So I really want to get that stuff done as soon as possible. Because it's just been dragging on and I feel like shitty for that. But it's just tough. All right, let's move on to the Riddler. This will probably be a little bit easier. I wonder if I could be super lazy. Should I be super lazy and just make his fucking legs into that? Let's do that. Let's do it. All right. Let me do this. All right, Riddler, eat shit. There we go. Oh, a lot of casual swearing for me today, but that's the mood. He's got a dump truck, man. Looks all right. So easy thing here, right? I'm just duplicating these legs. I'll just change them around a bit so it doesn't look so mirrored. Obviously, I change the color and stuff. Let's see, duplicate. Riddler legs. Cool. Cool. Do you have any original characters you scrapped somewhere like a folder on your computer? Yeah, I do have. We haven't really done like new pitches in a while, like new shows to pitch, like IP, but I have a folder of stuff here. You know what? Let me just share something with you real quick. See if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. It was one of like my fun. We still pitch it around every once in a while. Like if somebody's listening or if somebody's like looking for a concept or something. Let's see. Characters. Let me just find the folder. Originals? Concepts. I'm just looking at some of these things here. Sorry. Here he is. Offline. Open it up. All right, cool. So let me remove this real quick. Cancel. Hang on a second. All right. So I don't know if you can't, how well you can see it. Let me see if I can zoom in. So this was a pitch that we had for a long time. Terry Killtrain, Bounty Hunter. This was when I was playing a lot of Gears of War, a whole lot of Gears of War. The premise of this was future Earth, way in the future. It's like aliens have invaded Earth like thousands of years before, or whatever, like hundreds of years before. And there's just like a constant alien battle with humans and stuff on Earth. It becomes part of daily life. And Terry Killtrain is this guy here. These designs were done by Derek Loftman, who is an awesome artist. He's done a lot of like comics and stuff or not comics, I guess, but like character designs and stuff in a certain like kind of more chibi feel to them for Marvel. But amazing artist, super talented. So these were a long time ago. He did the boards for him as well, but very Gears of War kind of thing. So this is Terry Killtrain, and he runs like a small business basically. So it's like a futuristic hellscape office comedy, and he runs a small business as a bounty hunter. And this is, I forget everybody's names. Hang on, let's see. Gordy. So this is Gordy, and he's like one of the type of aliens that have invaded Earth. And what has happened is, in like a moment of like mercy or whatever on the battlefield, Terry spared Gordy's life, and in the alien culture, Gordy now has like a life debt to Terry. So now he's an unpaid intern so he's just this big hulking guy who's like a always either trying to kill him or just like having to get him coffee and stuff. This is Rosemary. I think it's his mom. No, just the office manager. And this is Betsy, who's like Terry's love interest. So, and here's some of the other monsters and stuff from the show, all these different types of aliens. So, and we had like, here's some of the boards too. Yeah, Derek did all these. It was so much fun. We wrote a full pilot. We got this thing boarded out. We were gonna do like animatic for it. It's like a presentation. But we never got around to doing it. So we pitched around a few times to various places. I forget really where. It was kind of anywhere that would listen. And nothing ever came of it. But that's one example. That one's a pretty well fleshed out pitch that we have put together of like a character that never ended up going anywhere. But still super fun. So yeah, that was Terry Killtrain, Bounty Hunter. And that's just like a fun part of the process. It's like story development. That's myself and Mike W. Sonic. We do that. We've done that for a long time together. And it's been a while since we've like kind of done it again, but we had a string going where like it was, when we were developing with Disney and we had like a proper agent and everything like that for pitching to networks and everything, like we had a bunch of pitches for stuff. A lot of it was not great. We thought it was good at the time, but if you look back, like, it could have been a lot better. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. We had like at least 4 other similar things like that, like in some form of early IP development, just to like put a pitch together. You never know if it comes up. That's how we got, that's how we used to get stuff made. Was we'd get like an email or something. Somebody's just looking for stuff. Like, hey, do you have anything? So like, we want some shows. Do you have anything that's kind of ready to pitch? That sort of thing. So we were like, yeah, here's some stuff. So we did sort of with Explosion Jones, but they had asked us to put something together, and then I had that idea for Explosion Jones, put it together that way. Ooh, excuse me. All right, so Riddler. I'll make his shoes look better than this in a second. All right, what else we got here? Hey, the Sonic channel. He did Project Batman and his fucking bad guys. What? Say what? I thought Superman was better, but I enjoyed both. I wanted to go see Superman this weekend, but I wasn't gonna have time to do that. Superman looked like a lot of fun for sure. I definitely wanted to check it out, but did not have enough time. And I was like, I was a little bit more curious about Fantastic Four, and that's why I went to go see that. All right, what happened here to 1 sec? Okay, what do we got here? I'm going to make a I Herald Dorkly shirt. Do it. Although there's no E in Dorkly. Makrobov. Just a heads up. Just a heads up. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Mike. Have you ever played Poppy Playtime? No, that sounds, on the surface, it sounds suspicious. Poppy Playtime? Let me look it up. Survival game? Ooh. This looks like a character straight out of Meat Canyon. Poppy Playtime. You must stay alive in this horror puzzle adventure. That looks fun. I would play that game for sure. Faux show. Does he really need our planet? There's some useless planets in our system. Eat those. Yeah, I don't know. They didn't explain. This isn't a spoiler, but they didn't fully explain like what the parameters were for why Silver Surfer chose Earth. Because like Galactus, once Galactus found out, I don't want to spoil anything, but once Galactus found out something else, then he was like, oh, we're definitely going there because I need this thing. But before that, it was just sort of like luck or a coincidence, not luck, whatever. So I'm curious about that though. I don't know what the parameters were. Not that they need to explain every little thing, but sometimes when you like go back and think through, you're like, oh yeah, why didn't they explain that? I thought the some of those sequences with the Silver Surfer were pretty fucking cool. Like I like how fast she is, and like when she's like surfing on lava and stuff, man, that was fucking cool. So really no complaints about the movie. I thought it was really fun. I didn't have huge expectations going into it. But I thought it was cool. I feel like I kind of enjoyed Thunderbolts more. But What do I know? But that's just my opinion. All right, I'm just trying to line up some more pieces here. I had to double check and make sure I was actually sharing my fucking screen again. All right. Oops. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for tuning in and stuff. I like answering questions and everything. And like, let me know if you guys have any requests on stuff that you want to see. You know, like I'm just doing this work here. This is just work. Like, it's all stuff that needs to get done. It's very arguably boring to look at. I wouldn't disagree if somebody was like, "This is boring," but it's stuff that I just need to do. But definitely let me know like if there's any other stuff you guys are curious about, the kind of work that I do. I mean, there's certain stuff I can't show, like client stuff. But like, if you want to see some other work files about like, other dorkly bits, I've got all the work files here and stuff. I can open them up and like, kind of show you how the sausage is made. Any of that kind of stuff, just let me know. Otherwise, it's just me just kind of chatting and tossing around pixels. Frame picker. Why is this like this? This part's a little tedious. I'm just getting everything like aligned and lined up and everything. I just want to make sure that it's all lined up with the pixels. So that's why it looks a little bit tedious, boring. All right. I'll probably fix Joker's arm. Let's see here. Hello. I'm like way behind doing these comments, guys. Sorry. Hey, Mike, do you know about Mortal Kombat? I like Mortal Kombat. That's my good and cool game, like Genesis, Mega Drive, Fusion 2. Yeah, I mean, Mortal Kombat was like my favorite game. It was fun to like play, but like when I say favorite game, I kind of even just mean like the characters and stuff are super fun and just the world. And it kind of came around at a time when I was young where like games like that just didn't exist. So like it was just very different, and it felt like a game for older kids. It was like hyper violent. Parents didn't like it, that kind of thing, and you're like, ooh, this is now suddenly very interesting. So, but I also just liked it was just different from anyway. It looked different, obviously, but like excuse me, burping. But just like it was creative and just different, and kind of fell in love with it. And it was just like silly at the same time too. It's cheeseball, all these kind of fun things that I like in characters and games and stuff. It takes itself serious, but also not serious. Any of that stuff. Sonic Channel. Have you watched my Scratch Cat is and the show? I have not. Scratch Cat? Is that the name of the show? I'm going to write that down. If that's the name of the show, let me know. Sonic Channel. What if the crime rate in Gotham went to 0? What would Batman do then? So that's kind of part of what there's a number. I don't have the full like script figured out for this one that I'm doing right now in my head, but it's basically like any of the shitty things that billionaires do. And they're all like psychopaths and stuff. So, is crime somehow like profitable for Batman and his company? What's his company? Wayne Tech, Wayne Corp, whatever. So like, is he building private prisons for Gotham criminals, all that kind of stuff, just like terrible things that real life billionaires do. And Bruce Wayne or Batman is telling them his plan as if they are good things, and the villains are now, they're playing the straight man in this short, and they're mortified by what Batman is suggesting. So like the shit, like, the real life thing, like the Nestle CEO dude talking about like having water isn't a right, or isn't like it's like a privilege for people to have. He wants to like hoard the world's water supply. Isn't that was like a fucking Bond villain thing? And this is just like the chocolate guy, shit like that, where like CEOs, rich people have lost their minds. So how do we apply that to a famous rich person in comic world? Ben and John have some good moments. Yeah, like I thought it was like super fun. It was very fun. I think the first act was slow, but they were world building in there for sure. There's a lot of like lead up to all the Galactus stuff was really cool. Again, all the Silver Surfer stuff, but like, I think just I wasn't just totally like leaving that place like blown away, I guess, but I still would highly recommend it. Like if you're on the fence about seeing it, like you should definitely see it. It's a fun movie. It's really good. The visuals and stuff are awesome. Really good character building. Not saying much, but like compared to the other Fantastic Four movies, like an excellent job. There wasn't, like I just mentioned, like the visuals and stuff, there wasn't a point in there where I was like, this looks weird. Like it was very, very well done. I think it's nitpicky of me to say like that I wasn't blown away, but it was still really cool. All right. It's feeling a little better. I think I got to fix Joker and Riddler's feet there. Hey, you can make it better, Mike, if you can make it real better. I know what you're talking about. A. Davis. What's to do with his legs are trying to walk off? What's up, Franco? Not a big fan of if video games are real, like the theory were a real video game. Hope it's not real. Worst video game in the universe. Which one? Like the series, like the if so and so is realistic. I got to catch up on these things here. New Frame Plus is pretty epic analysis of Sonic animation videos. It was well worth checking it out. Rumor has it based around the studio for new artists. Sweet. That sounds super interesting. Ter Kill Train isn't his real name. He was born Terrence Mamtram. Mame Train. Mam. Mame Tram. Excellent. Inferior Gordy, Pumpkin Party Gordy is the best. That's hard to beat. Hard to beat. Like, I recommend make one episode, see how many likes it gets before making, not telling you what to do. I recommend make one episode, see how many likes it gets before making more. You're talking about Terror Killdrain? The production on that would be ridiculous. It's 2D and like all that kind of stuff. That would be like easily over like 20 grand to make that show, make a pilot for it. All right, I got to fix these legs. They look weird. Let me catch up on more comments here. I find it'd be if Joker and Hulk became friends and went purple pants shopping. Stupid. Ever heard of Crisis? No. Is that a game or is that an artist? Because Galactic is tired of Pedro Pascal. I feel bad. I like Pedro Pascal. He's in everything. So it's that overexposure stuff, you know? But it's also the same thing. Like, he's promoting the movie. He's going to be everywhere. He's an eccentric dude, but like, he doesn't bother me. But I get like the overexposure stuff, and that can easily just be like, all right, I get it. You're quirky, that kind of stuff. But I like the stuff that he kind of stands up for and everything. And hopefully it stays that way and he doesn't become like a super weirdo. But I like all the stuff he's in. Can't complain. Oops. All right, that feels better. Now I'm going to move Penguin's legs up. He's like a little bowling ball anyway. That feels better. Now it feels like their butt's on the ground. Like drunk pixel art equal to Bob Ross painting happy little trees. All right, good. It's nice and relaxing. I'm glad. I wish I could hear let me change it. Normally I can hear the music that's playing on the stream, but something happened. So you guys have been listening to the same music for a while. I'll change it up. I've got different music playing now, which I kind of like. Willy Wonka as Bond villain. That's a good idea. That'd be good. Do you enjoy Pete Holmes's Batman? Yeah. We did. They were going to do, Kyle Schumer was going to do an animated Batman for Pete Holmes and his like comedy team or production team that he does all that stuff with. So we had done like some early, let me see if I can find it. We had done a few early design rounds for it. It was going to be sort of like Batman animated series look to it. Where am I at here? Miscellaneous closed. It didn't last long. I'll show you some stuff. All right. I just got to find it. One off. I don't think I archived it, right? Yeah, here we go. Just open up some stuff here. It wasn't much. It was really just like shit. Oh, shit. 1 second. All right. So this was from a few years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe. And Kyle Schumer asked us, they were going to do some like an animated version of Pete Holmes's Batman stuff, Badman. So we had done some early, they kind of wanted to look like the original, or not the original, but the Batman animated series. And so we're trying different versions where he felt a little bit dumpy, out of shape-ish, and like he's got that weird kind of mouth that he does on purpose. So we did a couple versions of like some weird mouths just to see what might work well. you know, and some very different stuff too, because we wanted to try some that might be pushed a little farther away for copyright purposes. Because even though it would be parody, it's kind of parodying Batman already, and then parodying the style, which might be too much. So there's like, watch out for some of that kind of stuff. So it kept going on for a while. We did, let's see. Let me share something real quick. I don't know if you can, what if I can just share the file? One sec. We did like a lip sync test for it as well. Video file. Let's see if I can do this.
Give you the beating,
All right.
not that you deserved, but the one that he needed.
He didn't do anything.
Could you guys hear that?
I gave you the beating, not that you deserved,
So this was just a lip
but
sync
the
test.
one that he
I think my
needed.
audio
He didn't
from
do
my
anything.
streamers screwed up, so I don't know if you could actually hear that or not. But we had done all this stuff, and it just kept kind of going on and on. They couldn't really make a decision, and the project ended up dying shortly after that. But it was fun. I love working with those dudes. Any chance that we can get to work with them, and it was just one of those things that didn't quite. I think after a while, like the budget stuff was going to become an issue too, because they were asking for a lot, and all of these things are never really big budget. There's no music. This whole time, there's like no music playing at all. Did I just pause the music? Sorry, this stream is like fucking cursed. Anywho's, sorry. Video James is a character I also really appreciate. I'm glad you do, because he's an important character for advertising, which is very helpful for this channel. YouTube payouts are inconsistent at best, so having something like Video James is very helpful. And working with the team at Social Synergize, those guys are great. They help us with all of our sponsored stuff. Let's get some more. Let's see here. You watched Superman 2025? Yeah, I wanted to see that. I was hoping to see that this weekend, but I didn't have time. I just ended up catching Fantastic Four instead. What'd you think of it? All the clips and stuff. I feel like I've seen basically a ton of clips anyway on the internet. Everyone's posting a lot, which is always a good sign that people are posting about stuff. So I feel like I've seen a lot of it anyway, and it all looked very cool. James Gunn is pretty consistent with that stuff. Let's do that. It looks like the Riddler's got his armor on, Penguin, because of that fucking thing. Nice. You've done so much stuff over the years. Yeah, we get to do a ton of like fun little things. A lot of stuff like people may not even have seen, or like I don't know. Got to do a lot of cool little things. There's always stuff that I forget about too. I've worked with a lot of places where it's just like the channel doesn't exist anymore, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that we did that, and like, we kind of have like the only functioning copy of a thing because it's like taken off the internet or whatever. A lot of that stuff. Fix that cigarette a little bit so it sticks out. It's a little bit better. I will only like the stream if Mike Parker sings Humpty Dumpty in Eggman's voice. I have no idea if the music is no music. Sorry, guys. That sucks. I don't know why it's not playing. Is anything playing now? Maybe I just shut it off. I have no fucking idea. Sorry, guys. Sorry for swearing. What do I need to do? I gotta sing fucking, what is it? Humpty Dumpty sat on, I didn't even know. I had to double check the words.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men. Yeah, they couldn't put that fat son of a bitch back together again. I kind of feel like it was his own fault. If he's that fragile, hanging out on a wall, I kind of feel like he had to come into him, but to each his own, I guess. Now it's the state's responsibility. Clean up eggshells and yolk. Sounds like a bunch of bullshit.
There you go. I feel like that's pretty accurate for Eggman's approach on this. Half-hearted, and then he's like, I don't know.
Who's to blame here?
Superman 25 was really good. That's what I heard. Ugly Americans was launched on Comedy Central. It only had 2 seasons? Oh, wow. Augenblick Studios. That's who did it. They did a couple other shows. They had another show, I thought, after Ugly Americans. And they have something now, too, recent. They do a lot of stuff. Very unique style. Oh, Eggman would have definitely scooped up some yolk.
Make an omelet later. Slice up some onions. A little pepper. It's gonna be good. I think I'm eating his brains. Make me a zombie? Oh my god. Never felt so alive.
Do Video James voice for the lulz.
Howdy there, folks. Video James here. Do you like streaming on a Sunday? I know Mike does. And that's why our sponsor is Gamer Subs for some reason.
And then it goes into the thing. Sonic for Hire has 9 seasons. When will be season 10? I got to finish 9. As I was saying before, it's taken forever. Apologies for that. But we need like a good premise for 10 before we commit to anything. Oh, I got to make a rope for all these dudes. We keep kind of going back and forth about certain premises and stuff. There was one draft that Mike W had written for the season finale for this season, season 9. Similar to when we wrote like, we're going to college. Like we didn't really have a plan for it. We're just like, it's something funny to announce or just yell at the end of like a thing. Right. So, but we didn't really have a plan for it. And then everybody really liked the idea. So then we're like, okay, we'll do that. And then we just kind of leaned into it. So Mike did a similar thing where it was like, we're doing a musical. I'm like, I had to shoot that down. I love doing music stuff too, but Mike loves pushing like for music stuff, but I always have to push back because doing a musical season of Sonic for Hire would bankrupt me. It would be crazy expensive and take forever. So I always have to be the bad guy of like, we can't do that. There's not enough money to do that kind of thing. So we had to change. It was a throwaway line too at the end of the thing, but I was just like, we can't do that. That's going to be crazy. So we haven't really landed on. We have a couple things. We haven't fully talked it through yet, but we have like a couple ideas floating around for what season 10 can be. But I really do want to make it like something that is a little bit different and interesting. One of the things that we run into a lot with Sonic is we really try to like put a game, keep the original premise of like him going into other games or being involved in other games in some form in every episode. But we've done over 100 of them, and obviously there's more than 100 games, but like, to have him keep doing games, like we've kind of hit all the big ones. So to do a bunch of obscure ones is kind of weird. So it's like finding games that are still going to be interesting for people to watch. So it's a little tricky that way. And we don't want to just like retread games that we've already done, that kind of thing. So we just want to make sure that we're like find a premise for it that can carry a whole season. That seems like fun and new and interesting and stuff, and maybe like a little twist on the kind of the stuff that we normally do for it. So, but still, I got to get this current season done first. All right, I might double up this rope so it's not just one thing. It's not an omelet with Sonic the sausage. He needs that.
I need some of Sonic's special sauce on this omelet. Spice it up a little bit.
I did like the Ricky Gervais bit on Humpty Dumpty on his first stand-up show about how it was obvious horses couldn't put an egg back together. That's true. Freeze looks like he's confused on how he got there. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I have a sketch about Freeze that I wrote months ago, but I haven't done anything with it yet. I haven't produced it or anything yet. But basically the premise is, it's weird that he is, before he became Freeze, he was Dr. whatever his name is. And now that he's a supervillain, he dropped the doctor and now he's just Mr. Freeze. So the premise of the sketch is that his parents are like guilt tripping him about why he's not a doctor anymore. And Batman's there and it gets uncomfortable. It's like, it's a different kind of script where like, I don't know if I'm going to release it on a regular Friday or Thursday because it's a little more niche and those don't do as well for the channel. So it might be like a Tuesday video, like when we have something else on on a Friday. But there's a few of those sketches that I have now that are like, they're funny to me. They're probably not funny enough to like put on our kind of primetime slot, but yeah. Will there be more video game ads? I don't know. I feel like you don't see them as much anymore. So they're not, to me anyway. I don't know if you guys still see them, but I feel like we kind of ran their course. There was one more thing I wanted to do in there. I wanted to get that King character, some a whole different series, where like the king is like trapped and there's like lava coming in a maze and like you got to save him or whatever. I wanted to do those as like an episode. I was going to try to involve him in a couple before that, but when I'm like just doom scrolling and shit, I feel like I don't see those around anymore. So I kind of feel like they ran their course. So if we did do it, I feel like it just wouldn't be as relevant anymore. So it might be it for those. Did I play Bonanza? No, I don't know what Bonanza is. My Scratch Cat show has 1 season, 2 eps. All right, I'll check it out. It's 3D. You did it in, is that the one you did in Blender? Hey, Mike, I saw Sonic for Hire seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's the whole thing so far, man. Thank you. Thanks for watching. You sound like Eggman or Egghead.
I sound like Eggman because that is the voice I do. Hello, Sonic. You son of a bitch. Think you're hot shit?
Also sounds like Sanic. Once he reforms, he teaches Gotham University. Now he's Mr. Doctor Professor. Now he's just piling on the accolades or whatever they're called. All right. I feel like that works. I'll probably fix that rope a little bit. Looks a little weird, but we're getting somewhere, guys. We're getting somewhere. Now I got to get Batman. I got all these pieces here. The head. We got all his different torso. Yoink. Arms. Why are the arms a different thing here? Properties. You don't make the arms a movie clip. You make them a graphic, you son of a bitch. All right, there we go. It's kind of it, all you need. I think this is split up into, yeah, torso. So we do this a lot. We got all the pieces in the same symbol, like that, and the cape as well. Like that. Yoink, yoink, yoink. There we go. I got to get this shit aligned. Single frame. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. I got to get his head aligned. So wait, did we settle it? Is there music playing for you guys? I gotta take the time and like I don't know if you guys tune in. You should, because they're really fun. It's usually like Thursdays and Fridays. Justin streams from like 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. Justin does. Why am I blanking on the name? He does our comics and stuff. Shuckle Quest. And he'll do drawings and stuff. And he'll play. He does a lot of like kind of older retro gaming stuff and watch retro commercials. It's super fun. But his setup is so much nicer than mine. I think he uses OBS and stuff. I just use whatever comes with StreamYard because I'm like lazy. But you know, he's got like custom control over the music that you can play. I feel like that would be better than this. I don't know what would happen. StreamYard's convenient for me because I can just set it up and whatever. Normally the music works, but for whatever today, the music wasn't working for me. Any fart. Transform, horizontal, sweet. All right, so let me split you up into layers. Bap, sweet. Hey Mike, did you like my Mortal Kombat logo? Where's your logo? Are you talking about your avatar or your icon there? I like it. The dragon. I can't really see the full thing, but I like it. If that's what you're talking about. Quick poll, Robotnik or Eggman? I got to go Eggman. Robotnik's a pretty sweet-ass name, though. Mr. Robo-Egg. Do you like Mario or Luigi voices? Oh, do I do the Mario and Luigi voices or someone else? No, it's not me. Mario is Clint Gage. He's been Mario for forever. He's been like the only Mario voice that College Humor and Dorkly and Lowbrow have ever had. It's been like 15 years or so of him doing Mario voices. It's insane. Clint is an insanely talented actor, voice actor, ton of stuff. He works for IGN. But he does Mario. He did Gay Link. He what else does he do? He was Jax in Mortal Kombat. A ton of stuff. He was Batman and Joker. I got to reach out to him tomorrow. Hopefully I can get, if he's free. If not, then I'll probably need to do the voices myself. Luigi, we have several different Luigis. Like regular Dorkly Luigi is Alex. Sonic for Hire Luigi is Caldwell Tanner, who was at Dorkly for a long time in College Humor. He was a board artist on Big City Greens for a while. And now he does Not Another D&D podcast with a bunch of other like ex College Humor alum. I was a Luigi for like an episode or two of Sonic for Hire, but I was just doing a bad John Travolta voice. But or wait, was I even that? Yeah, I think so. Oh wow, I think I'm like a tasting colors. Like that was my version of Luigi. I had done Luigi for College Humor like a long time ago too, but it was just like
Oh boy.
like that kind of voice. I think Bonanza is referring to the new Donkey Kong. Oh yeah. I haven't played that yet. The new Donkey Kong one, definitely. Looks like some good rope, some quality rope, right? It's a little bit funky with the checkerboard pattern, but it's all right. The color might be off, but like you're making a project of Batman and his bad guys. I like it and is 2D. Yeah, so this is going to be this week's Dorkly bit. This setup. I gotta drop in a background. Probably use like a warehouse one that I've used before. Probably not this one. No, probably not this one. We have another one that's more of like a bigger warehouse that I'll use for this one. I think there might be music of just. Oh, Christopher Bilko. How, Mike? How, Christopher? You like my Eggman voice? Thank you. I think you mean big dog. If you can't run with the big dogs, stay off the internet. Right, guy? Right, guy? Do I have a celeb impression that I particularly like doing? No, I don't really. There's like I can't really do a sustained impression of anybody. I can let's just like mimic like a line, I think. See you, Nick. Thanks for stopping by, dude. I can't really do I can do just like over the top dumb like one liner kind of things. The one that I'll do a lot from like that first what was it? What's the one? God damn it. Hell Rider? No. Ghost Rider. Sorry. With Nick Cage. The first one. When he's like, I'm good. I feel like my hair's on fire, but I feel like my skull's on fire, but I'm good. Like those are my like limit of my impression. I can't do like a sustained thing, but like if I can just repeat that line without having to like think of how he would say other lines, I can't do that part. Like, most people can do like a Christopher Walken impression. Like I can't do any of those kind of things. That was never really my forte. It's always mind-blowing when people are able to do that, though. All right, let me find a background here. We're going to wrap soon. Probably another 10, 15 minutes. Batman. Why Batman isn't really tragic at all. 273. Sorry, I'm just going through the Dorkly backlog here. 273. Let me see if this is the right one. Yeah, this is the one. So I'm just going to have them all here in the middle. Oh, that's huge. I don't like that. Warehouse. That's more like it. Nice and simple. I know I had those dudes all pixel lined up, but I don't want to change it. I spent so much time. The background's not to size. Fuck it. I'm going to do it like this. Use the camera tool. There we go. All right, kind of got that beam there. Kind of looks like they're. You could argue that they're tied to that beam, right? There we go. So this will probably be the basic setup of this thing, of this week's sketch. Did I not say Nick Cage? Daredevil? No, I meant it was definitely Ghost Rider, the first Ghost Rider movie. There's like a scene, it was like in the trailer where like he's leaving a graveyard or something. He's got like a cup of coffee. He's like, I'm good. I feel like my skull's on fire, but I'm good. It's a dead on impression. It's not. Had to do some extra work, so now I'm about a half hour behind, catching up on about 1.5 speed. You missed a lot. You missed a whole lot. Are you team Super Nintendo or Genesis? I'm team Genesis. Because I had a Genesis. I didn't have a Super Nintendo. I had NES, and then went from NES to Sega, and then like PlayStation 1. And then it was just like a mix of whatever from there. But at that point, it was like I think I hung on to my PlayStation 1 for a long time. I had a Dreamcast as well, actually, because my brother was a game tester at Sony for a while, and he got one for super cheap, and he was living in San Fran, testing video games for a little while. And like when that gig was up, they had like a thing you can get like games and a bunch of stuff for like super cheap. So we got one of those, you got like a bunch of games. And then, so I played that for a while. But then after that, it was like, whatever, it was mostly just playing like games on my other friends' consoles and stuff. Like, you joined June 12th, 2023, 2 years ago. Holy shit. Thanks for hanging out. You save so much money on lighting for the scene. Yeah, right. Look at that. So much more convenient. I don't know if I got, let's see, is this split up? No, it's not. What's this? Ooh, I can do this. Let's see. So I can have like, where is my frame picker? All right, so I can take the lighting out, right? And then duplicate the layer like this. So now I got it like that, right? So what I could do in the shot is have Batman like kind of come out of the shadow. Oh, that looks dumb. I thought it'd look cooler, him coming out of the shadows. I could probably mask some stuff because I think this is just, I can make a mask out of it. Yeah, it's not even pixel. All right, cool. Well, let's separate it out so I can do some cool shit with that. That works. That works. Do the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider line, but as Dr. Eggman.
I'm good. I feel like my skull's on fire, but I'm good. Thanks for asking. I appreciate it.
Or Nick Cage playing Eggman. I can't do a Nick Cage impression. Hello. No, I can't even fucking do it. I have no idea. I can't. I'm not. I don't have like the brain capacity to do impressions. Do I know Sonic 1 Forever? Okay, find Sonic 1 Forever and download it, and download an APK version of Sonic 1, and that's it. All right, that's a lot of directions, but I'll see what I can do. I will see what I'm going to do. I'm going to plant trees to prevent people from getting enough sunlight for vitamin D. So now they have to buy more vitamins. Yeah, like shit like that. Like diabolical modern day billionaire stuff. It's kind of the premise of this sketch. So the big thing that I need to do is like, I got to do it today because I got to write it tonight, is just try to find all the worst kind of real things that billionaires are doing to like short-sightedly destroy the planet. in the world and everybody's lives. So do that, apply it to Batman and his logic, and then all of the villains are gonna be like, oh my god, dude, what the hell? You'd have an easier time doing Eggman as Nick Cage and Vampire's Kiss yelling, I'm a vampire. Hang on, I don't know the line off the top of my head. Let's see. I'm just trying to find the clip. I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire!
I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire! I'm a vampire.
He'd also probably Eggman. I feel like Eggman would be a little bit braggy about it.
Yeah, I'm a vampire. So what? Fucked around this weekend, became a vampire. No big deal. What'd you do? What'd you do? Watch TV? How cute. That's cute. You watch TV. I became a fucking vampire. I might live forever. Whatever. Oh, what's that? Yeah, I can turn to a bat. Oh, you can't? That's cute. Yeah, I might turn to a vampire bat this weekend. Fuck around a little bit. Just, yeah, give you a little heads up. Maybe wash your neck tonight, baby. Just give your neck a little rinse. Thanks. I like working with a clean canvas, if you know what I'm saying. I don't know. I don't much care for the taste of blood. I will say that. I'm not a huge blood guy. I never was. And now it's like, all I'm doing is eating and drinking blood. It's like, I want some orange juice. I like orange juice.
Thanks, sorry, appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I thought about it. I'm a vampire now. It's not bad. Could do without the fangs. I kind of like my jaw profile. I feel like the fangs really like mess up when my mustache hangs over. Kind of give me a walrus feel. I'll get used to it. I have an eternity, I guess, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with it. I'm just giving it a little bit of a test ride. If I don't like it, I'll just go back. Wait, what? I can't go back? God damn it. So I'm the vampire forever. Like, this is it. Permanent. Really wish I had some paperwork to read or something before. I probably would have tried to read a little bit of paperwork. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, this is it now. This is my life. What's the weird vampire like sex orgy thing? I see that every once in a while. Is that a thing? Or is that just in movies? Because I can get down with that. That's not a real thing. Oh my god. Then what am I even doing? This feels like a waste. It feels like I really. All right. What are you gonna do? Can I still make robots? As long as they're not garlic-based robots, I guess. There's a lot to adjust to. I'm in an adjustment period. I just need a second to just get my head straight here. I'm dealing with a lot. Who bit me? Anyway, I'm not even totally sure. It's buyer's remorse. It's full on vampire buyer's remorse right now. And I don't want to make a whole big deal out of it, but I feel like a little bit of heads up next time. Can I play baseball better now? Right? Vampires are really good at baseball, I think, for some reason. I don't like werewolves. That's clear, right? We do not like each other. I just accept that. I've yet to meet one aside from Sonic.
Would he be a sexy vampire? Eggman would full on try to be a sexy vampire. So I think that confidence would make him sexy no matter what. Your blood type A? How pedestrian.
Yeah, you're blood type A? I'm blood type Alpha. You're such a beta cuck vampire.
What is even happening? Who is he talking to? I don't even know who he's just talking to, like an empty shell, like one of his little robots. Dorkly DC universe must one of the most evil DC universes. Yeah, the Dorkly Batman is really dumb. This one, I don't know if I'm writing Batman as dumb in this one. More so oblivious, I think, because his like intentions are full on evil. But I don't know if he's going to do like we do like a very dumb one as well, but we'll see. If you're a vampire who lives forever, you could make cartoons. That's true. Although I do that now too, so maybe I am a vampire now. Who knows? Who knows, guys? Who knows? What's happening here? Oh boy. All right, gang. Beta cuck vampire. On that note, everyone would look at ladies trying to use the hypnotic eyes, and then they'd barf Bloodhound Gangs, something else, Uki style. Eggman would he would need an eternity to kind of get used to the vampire lifestyle. I think. I don't think it's something that he would try to. He would be full in to try to like acclimate himself to becoming a vampire, but it would take like a couple centuries to do so. Oh boy. On that note, guys, this was super fun. Thanks for hanging out. Always fun. I'll try to do these more consistent. It's kind of tough. My schedule is wacky as heck with client stuff. My weekends are kind of just like work like kind of through the weekend kind of thing, which stinks, but there's just like a bunch of projects going on for client stuff, which is good, always good, but it's a little hectic, so it makes it kind of tough. But all right. Thanks again, guys. Check out the streams during the week. Justin streams on usually Thursdays and Fridays. So definitely tune in for those. Those are super fun. I try to do the Sunday stuff as often as I can to be consistent. And we're going to try to do some fun stuff kind of later, early fall kind of stuff. Justin's going to have some more time. And we'll try to do some more streams and more fun stuff. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. See ya.